Today I was looking into volunteering for either an LGBT gay youth homeless shelter group organization or Meals on Wheels, which is centered towards providing meals for elderly in your community. And it got me thinking about the topic of ageism, and I really wanted to make a video talking about this because so few people talk about it, and it's everywhere. So let's talk. So, ageism is basically the stereotyping or discriminating against people based on their age, as you can probably put that together from the name. And I wanted to talk about it because I think it happens every day, and I think it's happening without a lot of us even realizing it. And the more that we can put focus on it, maybe we can prevent our society from going further into disassociating with people just based on their age, because we're really clicking off and becoming separated generationally, and it's sad, and it's something that American lifestyles promote, and it needs to be something that we counter because we need to remain connected throughout generations. It's so important that we pass on stories and knowledge and just human and civil rights that have been tarnished or frayed upon, when our best source of knowledge are the people that lived it. And I feel like here in the Western world, we've just been so programmed to care about youth and how, everything is about the younger the better and virginal. And it's so weird because in Eastern societies, it's so much more about learning and gaining knowledge from the elderly and really respecting elderly, and I feel like that's lost in this country. But ageism was first something that was looked into in 1969 by Robert Neil Butler, and he coined the term because he wanted to be talking about people who were discriminated against just because of the age that they were for a certain thing, whether it be a job or joining a group. And it's funny that nobody really had a label for this before 1969. I mean, it's cool to label it ageism, so at least it gets the recognition through when you're talking about racism, sexism. It gets brought up that way, but it's so infuriating to get older in this country. I've always been a person who I really respect and love hearing stories from people older than me. I've always been drawn to hanging out. I have older friends. I always have. I've always hung out with, growing up, I had a single parent, and my mom would always have her friends over, and they were all older with adult senses of humor. I was recognizing curse words by first grade, something she hates to admit, but I'm honestly thankful for it because I grew up in an environment where there wasn't a lot of child talk, baby talk. There wasn't people talking down to me like I wouldn't understand or comprehend. I never dealt with that, and I think it led to me having fantastic communication skills. I mean, some people might want to tread my waters by saying like I'm too out there, or I'm too loud, or my bravado, whatever, fuck you. Yeah, I am loud and I'm forward, and I like to get to the answer of things. I don't like tiptoeing around, and my conversations are quick, and I'm a fast talker, blah, blah, blah. There's many people like me. But it's not to say I don't love having conversations with people who aren't like me. I love that because when I'm in a conversation with somebody who was around for Woodstock, or my God, I remember some of my boyfriends had grandparents that were still alive. Mine have all passed. And we would talk about one being alive for the Titanic. That to me was incredible. And I'm sorry, but I'd so much rather sit and listen to an elderly person, and I don't even know if that's a discriminating word. I should probably look into the shit I'm talking about. Anyway, but I would so much rather listen to a story about something historical, or my grandma was in a concentration camp in Nazi Germany. That was fascinating to me. I have such weird views on all that. I'm not even going to tip my toe in that water today, but just... anywho, I do think it's really cool to look at other cultures who pay more attention, who pay more respect, more honor, to giving their time to the elderly and to older people. And I really wish we did. I really wish we did, because we spend so many hours of the day chasing after youth, and look at the most people followed on Instagram. It's not theologians and Nobel Peace Prize winners or independent journalists who are outsourcing this knowledge that nobody else knows about. I mean, there are fascinating people out there who are 80s, 90s, even in their hundreds, and then we highest followed Instagram user as Selena Gomez or Kylie Jenner. I get it because they're not always on social media platforms. I get it that there's a lot working against them, but that's what I'm talking about. I feel like the ageism in this part of the world stems from a place where the youth doesn't want to take time and responsibility to help teach and help older people understand why it's so important to stay connected with us through technology, because that's our job. That's our job. We're dropping the ball. I mean, yeah, the technology that we're getting through, probably the more middle-aged crowd, now with apps and stuff, my God, it is younger millennials, like, creating industry, which is really, really cool. And that's going to change job opportunities and everything, but I'm getting off track. But it would be cool if we paid more attention to making sure that as a human race, no matter age, we're all staying connected equally as accessibly and fast. And I look at my mom, she doesn't know how to use an iPad, let alone, like, she can't create an Outlook email, it's funny things like these that we're like, oh my gosh. But then you think about it, she didn't have internet until middle-aged. Like, that's real for people. And so, we're we're going from human to technology, and we need to make sure we hold on to the human aspect. And that's our older generation, the people who are, God, how could you imagine living without cell phones, living without internet, being connected through socializing? And it's just a whole nother world. Humanity was so different, and we're losing that connection. And I guess that's fair, going through ebbs and flows, but we need to, as a people, realize we need that back. And I think it was coming from that place of, do I want to volunteer for the youth who, of course, they need help. They're runaways, or they're homeless because their families kicked them out, for being gay, and that's not okay. And they need to know that their community cares about them. They need to know that there's people out there who are willing to help and sacrifice for them. Maybe their parents are not those people, but they have people there, and it is such an important cause. But then you think about it, like, the elderly are not getting the attention they should, and I feel like we're okay sending them to nursing homes, letting them, rot away in, my God, sending elderly people to prison is just inhumane to me, the thought of that. There needs to be an age limit where, if you created an audacious crime, we need to think of a different punishment, because maybe something's wrong with you because of what society did to you through aging out. I mean, I was watching a late night talk show, and I really wish I could remember the celebrity who said this. Power of the internet. I'm sure somebody on here will, just Google it. But somebody really cool was talking about how they refuse to say what age they are. Like, when they answer the question, how old are you? That's what it was. How old are you? They say, I don't say how old I am. That makes it sound so bad. I say I'm to level 52 or something like that, because then it's something to achieve. And that's what life is. You want to live to 62, you want to live to 88, you want to live to 112. Like, these are our goals, and we treat it like, once you get there, ooh, you're old, nobody cares, you're not relevant. Like, what are we doing? Like, why do we put the cool in youth? Are you kidding me? They don't know shit. They're horrible at sex. Like, I mean, who are we to look at a 22-year-old or like Selena Gomez or Bieber and ask them, why don't you have your life together? 'Cause you're 24? Are you effing kidding me? Like, are we stupid? Do we hit an age? Thank God I haven't hit it yet, only being 30. And what, already in the gay community, I'm supposed to have aged out? Fuck you, I don't feel that way. I love getting older, and I love that I've had salt and pepper hair since I was 18 years old. That's just a trait of mine, and I love that. I love that I've always loved older men. Call it a daddy complex. Maybe I have father issues. I don't care. I have always loved features of older men. Salt and pepper hair, just masculine, domineering, have your shit together, and a mind on you. Like, that's what's sexy to me. I don't look at a 22-year-old and get a hard on. Like, I can't look at somebody that young and sloppy, and more power to you. I relate. This is where I get myself in some mess, because I relate to the youth more than I relate to older people. This is where I get all sorts of fucked up, because I'm attracted to older masculine men, and I'm attracted to older feminine or masculine energied women who just have knowledge and voluptuousness. Like, older women are sexy as fuck, and I cannot believe older men chase after younger women. There's nothing there for me. I mean, I do relate to being gay, but take the labels off of things, which I think we should be doing anyway. My God, the voluptuousness of an older woman, I think about her experience and her knowledge. That's sexy to me. I don't know why men want younger women. This isn't even a video about sexuality or anything, but it's all related. It's all related, and we sexualize breasts. Women can't even breastfeed, and breastfeeding is for mature women. Mature women means women who have given birth. It doesn't mean an age. It means a woman who's mature enough to have given birth and go through that experience. Women who have given birth, hats off, church clap. Like, we need to start paying respect to age, to knowledge, to experience, because we're stupid to think that the answer's in the youth. You can't go backwards, at least not yet. So, I mean, it's silly to me. We need to start thinking, why do we spend so much time following and investing our attention in the younger, the more youthful, the music, the art, the fashion, all of it? Why not pay attention to people who know how we as a society have evolved? They've lived it. They've lived it. So it has me gearing more towards I want to volunteer for Meals on Wheels. I just feel like we need to start showing respect to our aged in this country, especially. And I want them to know, me being a younger person, I respect you. And respect is earned. Don't be a crotchety fuck. But, like, I do respect the time you've been here on Earth, and you were a child once. You were the youth. And I want to hear your stories about when you were my age. I want to know what the sexual revolution was like. I want to know what drugs my parents did. And I want to know how many sex partners they had. I want to know if I'm being absolutely insane living the way that I do, or if my mom and dad were the exact same. Because we're all so similar. We categorize ourselves and label ourselves so much until we separate, and it's not reality. So, whatever, pay attention to whatever parts of this video you want or do not, but I just think it's a fascinating subject, and I really do wish that we would talk about ageism more in this country. And I want us as the youth to start paying attention to how much we discriminate against the elderly, and maybe start paying attention to being more polite, doing more favors, and showing more respect to those older than you, but also do understand that I do think that they need to earn it. Us as youth, I feel like we are on the right side of the truth. We are the truth seekers, and the elderly need to get with being okay with change. Again, give and take. This isn't a pick sides. This is a let's work together. Just calling out ageism, talk about it. I'm sure I still have it. I love to call it out when I do it myself. I'll be like, that was fucking ageist. Do it to yourself. Start paying attention. Hold yourself accountable. It's really fascinating, the stuff you start to learn, and you're going to hear some crazy stories. So get ready. Anyway, thanks for sharing your time with me today. That's really important. And take care of yourself the rest of the week. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow, Friday, which on the West Coast is going to be sunny, gorgeous, no clouds. So I will be outside working on this tan. I need to get rid of the alabaster and get ready for June. Let's do it. Okay. Peace out.